If you're struggling with time management as a virtual assistant, here are 8 very easy mindset and practical tips that you can implement today. If, like almost every other virtual assistant, you've started your business around children, a 9 till 5, chronic scrolling syndrome, a Netflix series, or you've just taken on a sudden influx of new clients, you're going to be finding it difficult to manage your time. So these 8 tips will really, really change everything. The last one changed my business exponentially. I'm Catherine Gladwyn, and as you probably already know, I became a virtual assistant in late 2015, and I started mentoring other women just like you to become virtual assistants in 2018. Just after starting my business, I found that I needed to increase my money, and I did that by implementing these 8 tips. Like I said, the last one changes things dramatically. Okay, so the first one is to encourage clients to email you, not to call. If you've got them calling you at any time, you have to drop everything, you come out of a task, and then it can take, on average, I think it's about 23 minutes to get back into what you were doing. So it's a real waste of your time. And with emails, you've got none of that nonsense like, oh, isn't the weather lovely? Or, what have you got planned for this evening? Not important. This is time, it's money. So do encourage your clients to email you, and you can do that by letting them know that all calls are going to be charged. They soon managed to email then. Following on from that, to avoid them phoning you, don't give them your phone number. If your phone number's on your website, take it off. They really don't need it. None of my clients have my phone number. And when I did used to give it out in the early days, it was an absolute nightmare because one client would text on a Sunday night and prefix everything with, don't need to do this now. But of course you've read it, you're thinking about it, you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and think, oh God, I must remember I've read that message and to do this and to do that. Whereas if it's in your emails, you can choose when you look at it, you can mark it as unread and delete it when it's done. This one is a new one I give to all of my group mentees, and that's to limit your discovery calls to 15 minutes. I've seen some offer like a 3 hours discovery call or half an hour. It's far too long. You'll struggle to talk for that long because you're going to qualify these people before you allow them to book a discovery call anyway. So the discovery call is just to find out exactly what they need doing and to talk about the contract and getting started, basically. So limit it to 15 minutes, more than enough time. Your time is money. Another one that a lot of people don't do, you need to charge for everything. So as an example, right, if you work at a co-working place every day and you pay for car parking that's £2 a day, say, that's hardly anything, is it? Whereas over a year, that's a lot of money. So the example I'm trying to give you is if you give a client just say like 15 minutes here and there, or you don't charge for a phone call, or you couldn't get into their bit of system because they were giving you the wrong password and you haven't put that on the clock, then you're losing money. And it's money that you won't get back unless you work extra hours. So charge for everything. Again, your time is money. No favours for anybody, because once you start giving them a little bit, they naturally will think they can take more. They're not being funny. It's just you're telling them, I haven't got any boundaries with time. You can have free time if you want. So charge for everything. A great way to manage your time is to set time blocks. So you could set maybe half an hour in the morning for engaging on LinkedIn or posting your social media content or going through your Facebook groups and things like that. You could then set a time when you're going to check somebody's inbox. You could allocate your own lunch time as well. Setting time blocks, things you're going to do. If you've got children walking to school, you've got to finish your work at 2:30, so you've got time to walk to the school. Set everything out, colour code it in your diary, and you just find it a lot easier. You're not then thinking, oh God, I've got to do all of this and that, and how long's that going to take me? If you've allocated the time, it just takes the stress away. You'll soon get into the habit of doing that. Now, this is a big one, okay? Because I see people do this all the time. You start your virtual assistant business because you want that work-life balance, and it will come, but it won't come immediately. It takes time to build up your business. So my advice is to not go AWOL. I know it'd be lovely to have a Prosecco lunch and afternoon tea every afternoon, but it's not going to happen because you need to be spending time in your business. And if you keep going off doing stuff and spending the money before you've even made it, then it's going to be difficult to get back into it again. So just bear in mind that yes, you can achieve this work-life balance, but not every day. And this takes me on to almost the last tip, which is the most important one. But Yeah, I'll come to it in a minute. Wait. Okay, I'm going to tell you to do something. This isn't the last tip. This is the second from last tip. But I'm going to tell you to do something. And it's all very well me telling you to do something. It's not going to actually make it better. But try and teach yourself not to procrastinate, or even learn to say it. Because nothing is ever as bad as what our brain makes it out it's going to be, or it never takes as long as we think it's going to take. The hardest part is actually the pressure we put on ourselves to do something. So if you're worried about starting something, just do a little bit. Imagine you've got to paint the whole of your dining room or something like that. Think, okay, I'm going to do one wall today and another one tomorrow. You start the first wall and it's not overwhelming. So if you feel that something's going to be really difficult and you find yourself procrastinating, just do a little bit at a time, and you'll find it doesn't take as long as you think. Procrastination is an absolute nightmare in business, which now you will see, here comes my last tip, but here you will see how it all builds together into this last tip. And this one, like I said at the beginning, changed my mindset, changed my business massively. Now I want to insert some drums. I really do need some drums. But the last one is to see every hour as your hourly rate. So if you're charging 30 quid an hour and you're going off for an hour to have Prosecco afternoon tea, and the afternoon tea is costing you 45 quid, you're actually losing £75 because you got the £45 for the afternoon tea and £30 for your hourly rate. Start seeing every hour as your hourly rate, and you'll start thinking, shit, I'm losing money here. That ties in with everything else. Do you know, like not having clients phone you, reducing the discovery call time, trying to avoid procrastination. Once you start realizing that you're actually losing money by doing some things, then it really helps with the mindset. So I hope that's useful. As with anything that I'm trying to give you, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I think there's a bell that you can press as well so that you get notified every time I release a new video. It would be great to see you on my social media channels as well. I'm currently over on Instagram and LinkedIn, so do come and find me and have the best day.